Our car that we rode in was in the front of these other cars, and we had plenty of space. But the Japanese were really crammed in there.
When you arrived back in Tokyo, what occurred at that point?
Well, we pretty much packed up and headed for home. We left Tokyo Bay for San Francisco on the 1st of December, and it took us 14 days using the Great Circle route, which is a direct route from Japan to San Francisco. And I arrived in San Francisco and boarded a train and was home in time for Christmas. Train ride was quite interesting. We didn't have compartments and things like that. We had sit-up seats, and we had to transfer in Chicago, and everybody, it seems, were in the midst of being transported one place or another because it was a very busy terminal in Chicago. But we had to wait for at least 3 trains before we could get one to go east.
So you arrived just prior to Christmas?
Just prior to Christmas, yeah. After Christmas, I was assigned to the Anacostia Naval Base in Washington, D.C. to wait for reassignment or discharge. While I was in Anacostia, we were able to have liberties, and I came home on liberties every chance I got. Salem was only about no more than 3 hours away from Washington. And on one of my trips home, I attended a church meeting in one of our local communities called Quinton. And it was called the Baptist Youth Fellowship, and it was county council. So this county council had people from all over Salem County, and when I went in there, I was taken by the young lady who was playing the piano. I had never seen her before, and I was really attracted to her, but she didn't know that. But they said at that time that they were going to have a skating benefit the following night out at the Pennsville roller rink. So I was still going to be home that next night, so I went to that, and I was able to meet Alice at that time.
That was in 1946 then.
Yes, April of 1946.
And when were you and Alice finally married?
We were finally married in October of 1947. I went to Tri-State College in Angola, Indiana, and I completed 4 semesters out there. And I decided that since I was going into my father's insurance agency, that I really didn't need to go that extra 2 years in college. I might just as well quit now and get married and go to work. So that's what I did. My career then was as an insurance agent, local. My father established the Henry D. Young Incorporated Insurance Agency in Salem in 1928. And I joined him in September of '47, and I bought the agency from my dad in 1950, and I ran it until I retired in 1986. Our daughter Carol and her husband George Reese purchased the agency, which made it possible for me to come here.
Well, that's a very, very interesting story, and we thank you for presenting it to us this morning. And in conclusion, we thank you for your service as a member of the Armed Forces of the United States, the greatest generation. We also thank all veterans for their service, particularly those serving our country in these very difficult times today.